Hey everybody, welcome back to Sparks Fire and Baling Wire. Today, do a little more cleaning on the block. Got all these thread holes to chase. Then we got engine cleaning brushes. We're going to go through all the galleries and get them all cleaned up. If you remember from the last video, we removed the rear main cap so we could work on the oil pump. Did all the porting on that. Got everything matched up nice and all fitted together, so that's ready to go. I got that bagged up and off to the side. I'll pull off the rest of these main caps. When you're rebuilding an engine, it's a good idea. Take a number stamp, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mark the block and the cap, so you know where they go. But Mom Mopar was nice enough to cast the numbers right into the caps on these, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'll go ahead and get these pulled off. Remember, they had them torqued at the machine shop for the line honing, but I already cracked them loose so they wouldn't be so hard. And I got them just snugged down with a couple ugga-duggas on the impact. So we'll get these pulled off and out of the way. This engine is getting a windage tray. Instructions here. It goes towards the back because the oil pickup will come up right through there. How do we bolt that down? Look through our pile of parts here. What did the stud finder find? Some studs. Got everything we need here. Studs, washers, nuts. Be just what we need to put a windage tray on. So let's get these out of the way and get the studs installed. Now before I install the studs, I'll go through and chase all the threads for the pan rail and the mains. Get them all cleaned up, degreased, and I'll get the studs put on. New day. Now with all these holes cleaned out good, clean them out with brake cleaner because there's some oil in there when they line honed it. Clean the holes out with brake cleaner, blew them out good with air, so they're good and clean now. Studs ready to go in. These are pretty straightforward. The rear cap, I haven't checked yet. Due to oil pump clearance, it's usually best to stick with bolts, which this kit includes. So that's probably what I'm going to wind up using. I have enough studs to do studs if it needs to be. Since this engine really doesn't need studs in the first place. The only reason I'm putting studs on is to run that windage tray. Put the right end in, helps. The windage tray goes on the 3rd and 4th main, so it's going to use the studs with the kick down end on them. Three-eighths. That'll go on these studs like so. when we get that far. I've got one left over of the turn down variety and one regular one. Which could probably go there. Not sure why, I suppose it depends on your combo, and I think this is generic cat for, yeah, this is all Mopars, so I'd assume that means the B and RB engines, which would be 383, 440s of that variety. But you just take an Allen wrench, bottom these out in here. You don't put thread locker or nothing like that on these. Just bottom out in the hole. And we're done with that part. So I'll get that done quick. Now the studs are in. Next step is going to be put the caps on and torque them down. Make sure the bearing tangs are lined up the right direction. And we'll put a little light oil on each one of these. These ARP fasteners come with their own assembly lube, but I'm going to save that for the final assembly. It's called Ultra Torque. Feels like it's a real light grease. It feels like it's in there. Anyway, I'm saving that for the final assembly. I'm just doing this now because I got another problem. Next step will be to get these torqued down to 110 foot-pounds. Got pretty good instructions here. Caps are all torqued down. You're probably wondering why I'm doing this with no crankshaft in there. Well, here's why. There's a note on here. When changing from factory fasteners to studs, clamping force and tolerances will change. Therefore, it's necessary to check the main bearing bores for proper size and out-around condition after installation of the studs and align hone the block if necessary. The main bore should always be line honed using the same fasteners and lubricant that will be installed during the final engine assembly and recommended preload. When this block was at the machine shop, I did not know I was going to be putting studs in it yet. I thought I was just going to be using the bolts because I did not plan ahead for the windage tray. So now hopefully this note is in here just as a liability. I can't imagine things changing that much. But they align honed this block when they had it using the original bolts, which would have been fine if that's what I was going to use. So now I need to go in here and check out around on all these. Hopefully I'm still good. If not, I'm going to have to take the block back over with the studs, have them line hung it again. Like I said, I'm hoping this is just a liability thing. And if you find yourself in the same situation as I am here, if you don't have a way to check these, don't chance it, take it back to the machine shop. You don't want to ruin a brand new crank and have all your work on a new engine build go out the window. So let me get set up here to check all these bores and hopefully we can move on. Okay, I got this set up. I'll bring you in closer here. Basically what I did is got my bore gauge set up. Got it zeroed out, and I'm turning it. That way both times the anvil's on the main cap and down in the block. And I keep rotating it and checking it. and they did an amazing job on this. I don't have the long one, I can only reach to the third one, and that's just barely in the middle. Then I come around the back and get these two from the other end. I've already checked them, and the worst one I found was a half of a 10,000ths. That's pretty good by anybody's standards. So I'm going to leave this be. Okay, hopefully this will work. I don't know how much glare I'm going to be getting off the lens of this. I really can't see. Looks like I bumped my scale. All right, get the anvil in here. And you just rock it back and forth till you get your highest spot, which I'm zeroed out for that. So now I'll turn it and do the same thing again. I don't know if that's showing up or not, or if I'm even on the right angle. But basically, I want to see 0 on this hip. Very extremely hard to do with your finger, but the goal is to have that needle on 0 every time, which I'm within a half of the 10,000ths on every one, or better. Most of them I zeroed out all the way, which is great. So we're going to call this good where it is. Save me a next trip to the machine shop. But like I said, if you plan on using main studs on your build, be sure to get the studs ahead of time and have them installed when you take the block to the machine shop. Or have them do it, whatever the case may be. It looks like we dodged a bullet. I'm going to end this video right here. I was going to do the crank install in this video, but I'm not sure where I'm at, and I don't want to get it too long. And I'm thinking by the time I do the address the rear main seal, bearings, clearances, and all that, I think I'm going to do an entirely separate video on the crank installation, so that one will be next. So this is a good spot to end it right here. Plus today's New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year's everybody. So I think I'm going to go home and get cleaned up. I think we're going to go out for supper. I'll catch you back here next time installing the crank in this video. Thanks for watching everybody. Make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe. It really helps me out, helps my channel. And one of two things can happen. You can either be highly entertained by my mistakes, or you might accidentally learn something. You never know what might happen here. Catch y'all next time. Be 2024 then. Have a great new year.